afternoon here at Mojave National Preserve at the hole-in-the-wall campground, I guess. It's pretty cool here. Lots of crazy rock formations and stuff. So just been doing some time lapses and some photography. Yeah, it's been fun. Just day two out here with my friend Brooke. Just been driving around and trying to find some interesting things to shoot. This place is so big, it's kind of intimidating to really land somewhere and take some shots, and our weather has not been great. This is the first sun we've had all day. It's just been kind of overcast and drab. So yeah, just having some fun, trying to get some cool shots, and yeah, we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Okay, back out in the sticks a little bit. We're driving around forever trying to find a decent spot to camp and a decent spot to take some pictures of the sunset, and kind of compromise on a spot that doesn't look great for either, but you know, it's getting late, so sun's setting in about a half hour. Just gonna kind of ridgeline here. I'm gonna kind of hang out at for a while. I'm gonna try to think a little smaller and just kind of find some cool cactuses and some cool backgrounds and try to make a little bit of art that way. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Gonna have to get pretty fancy here. Alright, live view is a little important here. Yeah, it's also hard to work upside down and backwards. Okay, I'm at 70 mils f10. ISO 100 at a 20th of a second, upside down, red cactus, Mojave Desert, California. Here we go. Even with my grad in, the sky is still a little bright, so I'm gonna just do a bracketed exposure here too. So we're gonna go stop under, expose correctly, stop over, and 2 stops over. I'll stitch those together and see how they look. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can get off the ground and find another shot here. Alright. Looks like our sunset's just going to be kind of one of those where it just slowly gets darker and darker until it goes away. There's a lot of clouds, so I'm hoping that means that once it does go under, it's going to kind of uplight them. Maybe back at camp I can get some cool photos from there, like wide angle, some of the hills and whatnot. But until then, I'm just going to try to snap a couple more panoramic photos here, and yeah, have fun. Alright, we're shooting some cacti. Just wanted to point out really quick, this might be something you know, which is fine, but if it's not, when I do bracket exposures, I tend to only change the shutter speed. It really depends on what you're shooting, but for landscapes where nothing's really moving all that fast, like leaves or whatnot, shutter speed's probably your best bet. So that way if you're changing your ISO, your noise is gonna vary slightly between the photos, and if you're changing aperture, you're just, I don't know if you'd ever want to bracket aperture, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just, what I'm doing here, because there's a lot of shadows, I'm actually doing one shot, a stop over exposed, one shot kind of where I'm metered for my subject, or zeroed out, and then a shot, one stop underexposed, and 2 stops underexposed for the sky. So let me think about that for a second, actually. yeah, so as you can see in this photo, there's a tendency of some people to do the HDR look and like make it look nuts and crazy, but there's quite a bit of finesse and skill that goes into making it look good, and I am not proficient enough in Photoshop for that, but I do what I can. Mostly all I do is I try to find a little more exposure in the shadows, because the way these cameras meter just the dynamic range of them, I can sit here and see every detail in the clouds and every detail right into the nook and crannies of the shadows of these things, and that's why it looks so great. But you know what the camera sees is much smaller than that. So yeah, anyways, just a quick tip on bracketing. I'm gonna wrap it up here and head back down to camp, set up the tent before it gets dark and chilly out, and yeah, maybe see if the sky pops, take a couple photos, grab some food, and get some rest so I can wake up in the morning. All right. Morning. All right, it's day 2, 26 degrees out. Had a hard time getting motivated to get out of bed again today, but after missing the shot yesterday, it was just kind of not worth sleeping in, so found a cool kind of pairing of yucca plants up here, and the sun's rising behind them, so I got some cool clouds. Yeah. Gonna do a little silhouetted panoramic, kind of like I wanted to do yesterday, but I missed out on, and we'll see how it goes. All right, not bad. Okay, that was the picture I wanted, so guess I'm just gonna wander around a little more and see what else happens. All right, good stuff. Pretty happy with a couple of those. So sun's still super low on the horizon. I'm warming up a little bit since I'm moving around, so I'm just gonna keep wandering around, see if I see anything else that looks interesting. All right, I think I got my last shot of the morning light. It's getting quite a bit higher and more flushed, and as usual, no clouds whatsoever. So been going for like some pretty simple panoramic images. I think the desert's just beautiful, so I'm trying not to stylize it too much. Not using any filtration or anything fancy, just a little panoramic type stuff with these yucca plants kind of centered in frame, everything else just kind of like being where it is. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I'm gonna head back to camp and make some coffee, get a little bit of food in my belly, move around a little more and see if I can warm up some more. But yeah, I'm gonna do some of that and then catch up with you guys in a little bit. So it started to get pretty windy. It's about 30-mile-an-hour winds we were battling that whole day, and we were scheduled to fly out that evening as well. So Brooke and I decided to jump out of the preserve and
head towards Vegas. We swung by Red Rocks National Park on the way out, and we didn't go into the park itself, but the scenery surrounding it was just absolutely breathtaking. Well, thanks again so much for watching this trip out to the Mojave. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and see you next time.